All right, good morning and welcome back to the Knit Guru. Today we're doing something completely different. We are heading off to New Zealand's first stationery festival. The New Zealand Stationery Festival, I think it's the first one. What does this have to do with knitting? Okay, I really like stationery, and so as soon as it came up that there was a New Zealand Stationery Festival, I went and bought a ticket. So that's where we're going. I have no idea of what to expect, except I do know that it's going to be some really high quality stationery. This is my wallet. I use a traveler's notebook as my wallet and have done for years because it's got a little notebook in it, it's got my passport in it, it's got all the things. Why do I carry my passport on a daily basis? Because I'm a sucker for punishment. I just keep thinking maybe at a drop of a hat I'm going to be, going overseas. No, it's more that often I end up authenticating other people's passports or doing paperwork or verifying identities and that sort of thing, so it pays to have it on hand. But mostly it's the dream about just, casually jumping on a flight, to go somewhere unexpected. So I know that the Travellers Company is going to be there. I know that there's going to be, I think Moleskine is going to be there. Moleskine, whoever that said. And I don't know about anything else. I know that it's going to be lovely, theoretically. I know that there's a limited number of people who are allowed in the building at any one time, so I'm worried about waiting around. I'm also worried about finding a park because Greytown in holiday season is always a bit crazy. Anyway, so do I need stationery? No, I do not need stationery. However, what stationery will I buy if I have the opportunity to buy stationery? I love washi tape. I'm rather partial to berries. I'm partial to, berries of any kind, citrus fruits. Love that sort of thing. So I will probably buy that sort of thing if I see it. I will keep an eye out for things like stickers or washi tape that are related to crafting and knitting. I like fountain pens. I could use a new fountain pen because I find that the nibs, I'm not very good at cleaning them out, but I love writing with a fountain pen. So if there was the Lamy people, Lamy, Lamy, I might grab a fountain pen. Yeah, and then I'll see if I show you anything from when I'm there because I don't know what it's going to be like. And then afterwards, I will show you my haul and give you my experiences. I think that's basically the plan. So let's head off and have a look at some stationery. Yeah, literally, my sister recently referred to my hobbies as the most boring things in existence. The fact that I took my Advent yarn calendar up to Auckland with us and I sat there knitting at the Lewis Capaldi concert, she was unamused. Oh, now the other thing I'm partial to is unicorns. So probably unicorns. I doubt there's going to be unicorns at a classy event. Anyway, let's get rolling. Okay, now keep in mind that I have left maybe 15 minutes ago. I've been to the grocery store. Please ignore how much dirt there is on my car. This is the early bird line that I was in near the front of, but we got in at the first section. And the early bird line is still going almost around the block, which is bonkers. And then there's a regular bird line. Does that make sense, regular bird? But yeah, to say a success is an understatement. All right, so the New Zealand Stationery Festival was 2 days ago now, because it's been one of those weekends. So this is the bag that I got for being an early bird register. early bird registration. Anyway, I think I was probably about the first person to sign up, because the moment that it came across my feed, New Zealand Stationery Festival, I was like all over it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I bought, and then I'm going to show you what came in the bag, because the bag itself and the freebies were the most insane. Okay, you know how sometimes you get a really good gift bag, and sometimes you get not a really good gift bag. This time it was an incredible gift bag. Both in terms of quality of product and amount of product and stuff like that. So I'm just now looking for, right, okay. I've now separated things that I got, things that I bought, and things that came in the freebie bag. Right, okay, so in the category of things that I got, this is going to sound really silly. This bookmark here, the printer's bookmark, on the back, this is just a freebie that was on a table with so the printing press guys, and it was so cool because it explains why font sizes are the way they are, and how letters were measured in picas per inch, and such a nerd. I am well and truly aware. So I love this bookmark. I'm going to put it somewhere and treasure it, because it's got the 6 and 12 point font size on one side of the ruler. That's cool. The same place had the postcard. Now they already had the orange printed on the postcard, and then you put the piece of paper, the cardboard in, and printed the green. And of course, because most of the people who were there were journaling. Now, I didn't sign up for any of the workshops. The workshops were for things like how to use washi tape, getting yourself started on journaling. You know, there were a whole stack of workshops, but I didn't sign up for any of them because it's just not. I carry a journal because I write, and I need to keep my ideas somewhere. I love planning. I love doing all that stuff, but I didn't need to go to a workshop for it, I didn't think. So I didn't sign up for any of the workshops. I was tempted to sign up for one of them that allowed early access to the bookshop, but I didn't, because I was being well behaved. I didn't need early access to the book. I didn't end up going to the bookshop at all during the day, and you'll see in the footage that I probably put before this part of the video, the number of people that were there were insane. Like, I was in the queue, like when I went down to get my parking, I didn't quite get princess parking. I could have had princess parking, but I actually chose to park further away and walk back because of the number of people that were there. And I thought, I'm just going to be safer. These are people from out of town. I'm going to go and park further away because I don't want anyone crashing into my car. And you know how I have a thing about parking where I'm not very good at it. I'm not a very good driver. I have often joked about the fact that when I hit the age that I have to retest to get my license, I'm going to fail. 100%. Some of my ex-students used to have this website of places that I had parked badly. It was hilarious. They did it with my consent, so you know, it's not like they were being malicious. It was just hilarious watching me park badly. I can't parallel park to save myself, and so I will often sit in my car until the people in front of me or behind me have left, which is a really silly way of parking. Or I like to park where I can either drive straight out or reverse and drive straight out. So that's how I chose my park in the end, and I did a little walk. But the queue, even by the time I got there, I was about number 81 in the queue. There were 100 people or so who were allowed in the venue at once. So I knew from that point that I was going to be in the venue once. Because I was going to be busy, I wasn't going to be coming back later on in the day. I didn't have time for that, because it was the kind of weekend it was, with all the hay baling and family down and stuff like that. So I did that. And then
Yeah, the people in front of me, two of them had come down from Tauranga, which is like an 8-hour drive just for the festival. So they drove down in a camper van the day before, which actually makes it longer if you're in a camper van, because you're not allowed to drive as fast. The people behind me were from Wellington, another one from Porirua. There was a lady there from Hamilton. Like, people had come from all over to go to this festival, and it was, don't get me wrong, it was worth it. It was cool. I think they're going to need a bigger venue, to be honest, and I feel like they would not have been able to expand. If you hear a lot of beagles moving around, I've got 2 dogs here at the moment, not just Rocky. I've got my ex-husband's dog, who is currently a handful. Anyway, so the postcard, what you had the option of doing with your postcard was to fill in the back and have it posted to you so that you got a stamp on it. And that was free. I did not do that. With compliments, and I used the stamp of the New Zealand Stationery Festival on it. What was fantastic was seeing the number of people who pulled out their journals to be stamping or stickering or any of that kind of stuff directly right there as they were going. So, right, what did I buy? And in order of purchase. There was this lady here who is the gourmet quilter. I saw her sign and I thought maybe she's going to have some craft supply themed items. But there was a lot of quilting themed things, but I don't do as much quilting these days. So I bought this. This is a set of 3 mini notebooks. I have no use for these, but these 3 mini notebooks, let's see if I can slide one out and then put it back in there. They're different color papers, I've just realized, on the inside. I hadn't realized it was lined paper. I mean, this is just a tiny book. It's got a single staple, but it's got lined paper on the inside, and it's a mini notebook. When I was at high school, I used to carry a notebook that was not this size, it was about twice the size, in my pocket, and that's how I wrote down all of my thoughts, because I didn't have large pockets, but I kept a small pencil and that book in my pocket at all times to be able to write stuff down, and that's what got me through. So those are very cute. That was $4 for 3, and I just bought it as I was walking past because I thought that's adorbs. Then I went to this guy here, which is Unique by Yogi Bear, and he's local, like very local. There's his business card here. Thank you for shopping with us. I can return the item within 14 days if I'm not happy with it, but I think I'm going to be happy with it. He makes wooden pens or resin pens out of native timbers or trees that have been planted in New Zealand. Like, he can tell you where any of his products have come from. So this here is just a very nice wooden fountain pen. I feel like it's a bit heavy when I put the lid on the top to write with it, but it's because I'm, weak. But holding it with just the pen, they're nice. I was the very first purchase of the day from him. And this pen was like $55. So I'm blown away with the quality of it, because he definitely could have been charging more, I feel, for what he did. I'm just now unscrewing this end here. Okay, I didn't need to unscrew that bit. Put that back together, Juanita. Where's the bit where I unscrewed that bit. So if I unscrewed this bit, it's got the little reservoir, and I can pull that out and I can fill it up. And that's one of those refillable ones. I've used these before. If you don't know, I love writing with a fountain pen. However, I am a terrible human being, and I do not treat my fountain pens with respect. So the main thing I was concerned about was how easy it was going to be to clean out the nibs. I became obsessed with using a fountain pen when finding out that after you use them for a little bit, they mold to the way you write. And if somebody else picks up your pen to use it, they're not going to be able to write properly. The ink's not going to flow nicely because it learns how you move. And as soon as I learned that, I was like, I am a fountain pen fan for life right there. So I bought a new fountain pen. Am I going to put this in my school pencil case? I don't know. But I bought the fountain pen and I briefly looked at a stall that was selling inks. But I thought, no, I've got ink. I've got ink somewhere. But I didn't worry about it. So I've got a fountain pen, it needs ink. Then I saw this here, and this was a special for just the festival, and it was massively discounted at the festival. So this is Esterbrook, I think so, and it's a travel journal in a box. It's everything you need to kick off your travel journey adventures, fun memories, and a dash of wonderful. Everything you need in a box. And the main reason I got this is that the end's full. It's absolutely full. And if you know, you know, I am hopefully going back to London this year. And so I've got plenty of plans while I'm there. First of all, there is a pencil pouch. Is it high quality? No, but it's a pencil pouch, and it's the back terrible, the front very cute. It's got little stitching bits on it. It's fine. It's fine. I will probably end up using it, but I have others. Then there's ephemera. So this one here has got dropping them on the floor. They're stick-on sewn patches and luggage tag details, things like that. I'm going to have to remember to pick that one up off the floor. Here we've got some vinyl stickers. You could even glue the back of this printed packet to make it a real packet. So you can put the instructions on how to reuse the plastic, which is nice. So these here have got the vinyl stickers and stuff. Then there's different size bits of pieces. What have we got here? We've got a bookmark, and it says on the back, last time this was your last page. So that's cool. This is just an envelope inside it, one of those paper, plastic, fabric-y thingies. This is a set of stamps. These were, I saw these and I was like, this is fantastic. I need this. So this one here is, what I'm planning on buying, and for who, and why am I reading I should just read the wooden side. So what I'm buying for and how much it's spent. So I'm probably not going to use that one ever. A travel log, I will probably use that stamp. A month lineup list, not interested in that one. But this one here, it's all about the such and such. I love a nice stamp. I have a full set of recipe card stamps somewhere. The longer I'm away from my stuff in storage, the more I remember what's there and know what I'm missing and stuff like that. Honestly, this keeps going. There are 3 rolls of washi tape. This one's got like suitcases and coffee and that sort of thing. This one's covered in different foods. This one's got different journaling supplies. Then this here is a not a clue. This one's a stamp pad. Like I told you, when it said everything you need, it's everything. Cute tin. No way. Tiny paints. That is a tiny paint palette. Cute. Cute. I am a big fan of painting. I am no good at it, but love it. This is a pockety-wockety thingy. This is another, this one's a leather bookmark. One of these, I love these pens. It's a watercolor paint pen. And then, oh, we're not even at the bottom of the box yet. So let's go to the things that are on the very bottom of the box. We've got some vellum sheets. We've got some stickers. We've got those transferable letters. We've got the little shapes. So that's cute. And then there's an actual journal. It's a travel journal. I know that it's not going to be as nice as my Traveller's Company one, but in saying that, it's not awful. It's a really high quality fake leather. And it's a very nice travel journal. It's got 2 notebooks in it. One's with the square grid and one's with the lined grid. And it's got the pockets for the cards and things. And it says enjoy travel on the side. So I will use that because it's cool. I do have a blue leather one and I have a brown leather one. Yeah, so I bought that. And the amount of value in that box that I've now just dropped on the floor is insanity. Like, there's so much in that. There's so much more in the box than I knew when I bought the box, which is insanity in itself, in that I bought something without knowing exactly how much was in it. But I could see that there was a lot in it. People were looking at the stuff that was inside it. I guarantee you they sold out within the first hour of the festival. And that's my biggest and most expensive purchase. And I think it was 80. Right, so those are the things I bought. Then, this is the gift bag. So this is a very heavy canvas, sewn nicely bag. It's AS colour. I love AS colour whenever I get stuff printed. It's printed nicely. And then on the inside of this is where it gets insane. There was a stall that was selling these pens. And I loved this box. And I was very tempted to buy this pen, but I didn't buy this pen just because I liked the box, because I didn't want to open the box and ruin the box and find out what the pen was like on the inside. So as I open up the pen, I have opened this before. It's got a little drawer. And then the pen is there. And I'm pleased that I didn't buy the pen. Not because I got it for free, but because it's a very lovely, high-quality box with what feels like a very plasticky pen. And this is just a notebook that's on my table. You may recognise the style of it. And let's just draw. It's just a ballpoint pen. And it's one that's going to take a wee while to get started. So I'm glad that I did not purchase the pen, but I'm glad that I got the pen for free, if I ever get the pen started. Either way, it's a pretty enough pen. I'm now just checking whether or not it's one of those ones that I haven't done something stupid like I've got. Oh, that's why I need to fill up the reservoir in there. I would have been very disappointed if I hadn't just done that. I would have been like, oh, my pen doesn't go. But that's cool. It's got a thing. And I need to make sure that I don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. I feel like I'm going to ruin this. It's possible I'm going to ruin it. You didn't see anything I was doing there, fortunately. But putting the pen back together in its casing. So that uses ink. And it's a lovely colour in a beautiful box, and I nearly purchased this pen and I didn't. So I was thrilled to find this pen in the bag, because I didn't go through the bag when I was there. There was no space. Then inside the bag we have got it says Conscious Living This is a notebook. This is a week to view diary. A5 size, Let's of London. And it's a sort of 2026. Oh no, it's a 2026. Means I have to use it this year. It's a 2026 week to review diary. Which, to be honest, it's got nice paper. It's very nice. I will actually use this, and I will. It says unconscious evergreen. I feel like that's a charcoal colour. It's lovely. I am going to use this. I will keep this out of the bag from now on, and this will be my daily diary that I carry with me, because I've got a big planner and I've got a little one, but I don't have an A5 one, so it's not too bad in size. Then two more things, or is it three? There's some stickers. That's the Stationery Festival logo, and one for Greytown. I shall slide these inside my diary. And then the bit that thrilled me, classic fountain pen ink. So I did not have to worry about finding my ink in the end. I've got one in here, which is beautiful. And ironically, I was going to buy one that was a deep sea blue. This is like a deep sea green. Fantastic. So at some point I am going to fill up both of my pens with the exact same ink. So this is Fluids Octopus ink, but that's the freebies. The freebies were a Let's of London diary, a pen in a beautiful box that needs refilling, and the ink. Like, that's an insane amount of freebies and of an insane quality. So, New Zealand Stationery Festival. Do I recommend it? Yes. I met some really lovely people. We talked about writing. We talked about all sorts of things. What are my recommendations? I do think they need a bigger venue, because this is going to expand. The line went around the corner. I thoroughly recommend getting early bird access, because the early bird people had priority access all day, rather than just like the regular people who had to line up to go in when the early bird people were done. So there were people in the regular queue that I don't know when they would have got in. I got in the first wave, and I might have been one of the first people to leave. I do get overwhelmed by crowds. I was going to look for some washi tape, but the main washi tape seller had such a slow line, and everybody was squeezed in close. There was a lady that was selling notebooks and things that had hand-painted New Zealand birds on them, and they were beautiful. There were plenty of places doing pens and stationery and that sort of thing. But I was going for stuff that I couldn't get on a daily, normal, everyday basis, and yeah, not going silly about it. I will be going again next time they run it. It was fantastic. I think everything about it was incredibly good value, and early bird ticketing and getting my my tote bag with freebies, totally well worth it. Will I do some of the workshops next time? Maybe. I will have a look at what the workshops are and get in quickly enough, because I bought my ticket before the workshops were released, I think. And then the workshops were released and I didn't buy any. But maybe I will next time, because I've done workshops with Mrs. Blackwell's Village Bookshop before, and they're fantastic. So, yeah, I know, very different to my usual content. But we'll be back to some more yarn-based activities very shortly. I just wanted to recap and go over everything from the New Zealand Stationery Festival, because the number of people who are in crossover fields of my interests just keeps growing. So I had a wonderful time. I recommend it 10 out of 10. I will catch you next week. Bye.